Welcome back, dear viewers. And to shed more light on the press conference that was held by Minister of Transport Kamel Al-Wazir and its main highlights, we are joined over the phone by Dr. Mohsen. He is an energy expert. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, Sir, Minister of Transport Kamel Al-Wazir addressed a press conference in New Alamein City on latest developments related to the transportation ministry, and he said that his ministry is working on achieving strategic goals according to President Fattah al-Sisi's directives during the coming period, and he reviewed the progress report of the rapid electric train project, which is being implemented with the cooperation of international partners. How did you follow up the press conference?
Well, it was actually very good news because we are all aware that over the last decade, not even a short time, but decades, the Egyptian road traffic and highways and inside the cities and everything were very, very crowded because of the heavy presence of transportation vehicles.
Yes.
So for decades, it was needed to really alleviate that heavy pressure over highway traffic to avoid the high number of accidents that we have and avoid the pollution inside the cities and everything.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was really very good news.
Yes, Dr. Amr, also the minister said that the project aims at connecting all ports across the country, and he also reiterated that the ministry is working on increasing efficiency and capacity of Alexandria port regarding its strategic importance. He also said that the coming period will witness new partnerships to implement and upgrade process of all ports. So how do you see the government efforts to upgrade all Egyptian ports?
Well, it's of course very necessary because the economy of Egypt is placed on a direction of expansion. And this means that you will have to, as a country, you will have to interact with other countries by importing and exporting, which means that ports will be a lot busier. So there's a need to expand the number of ports, to expand the existing ports,
Yes.
especially the Port of Alexandria.
Yes. Also, sir, one of the important projects that are currently being implemented is the monorail in Egypt. How do you see the importance of such a project? To what extent it will help in connecting different parts of the country?
Again, it's a very positive advancement, and it has been needed for decades because
Yes.
People need to transport. If we're not talking about merchandise, but we're talking about just ordinary citizens, they need to move between
Yes.
cities, and using the monorail is a lot more efficient.
So, sir, also, if we talk about the new stations and the new trains that are being upgraded and developed recently by the Ministry of Transportation and upgrading and developing carriages of trains, how do you see these projects?
Well, it's very important, of course, to keep all your fleet up to date and very well maintained, because if you don't do that, you start to have accidents, and of course we all know that railway accidents are pretty harmful to people and to merchandise, and they delay other trains using the same railway, etc. So if you keep your fleet up to date and well maintained, that means that you shall reduce the number of accidents and you'll increase the efficiency.
Yes, so sir, if we look at the infrastructure projects in Egypt in the past few years and bridges and tunnels, all these projects help in easing traffic in Egypt and also facilitate transportation. To what extent all these will help sustainable development goals in Egypt, will help in attract more investors and facilitate movements across the country? How do you see the importance of these infrastructure projects and the importance of implementing those projects at that period?
Well, as you just mentioned, one of the basic principles of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals,
Yes.
is to decrease pollution or eliminate it altogether if at all possible.
Yes.
And certainly when you start to smoothen the traffic and reduce crowdedness and separate between moving merchandise and moving just ordinary vehicles and so on, all this contributes to less pollution, to more efficiency of getting from A to B for merchandise and for citizens. And that, of course, goes very much along the SDGs and the attraction to new investments.
Yes. Also, sir, as an expert in energy sector, we can't ignore the recent decisions taken by the Prime Minister related to rationalizing energy and electricity in the coming period. How do you see the importance of these decisions? To what extent it will help in rationalizing the use of energy?
Well, with an expanding economy, the demand for energy, especially electricity, increases. That's something, of course, to be expected. And as Egypt is growing the industrial sector, it's very important to make sure that we always have enough electricity to satisfy this growing demand.
So I'd like to thank you, sir, for being with us today.